Hi there, this is Alvin with Kickstart Commerce podcast, where we share search marketing and domain name investing strategies to help grow your business. In today's episode, it might sound a bit different, and that's because I'm here live at Merge 2018. And standing here with me, some of you may know Emoji URL as well as Emoji Empires, but what you may not know is that they've combined forces to become the Emoji Experts. And so, gentlemen, welcome. And so I'm going to let them take a moment to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Tanner Schenck here with the Emoji Experts here at Merge, and we're out here promoting and educating people on the power of visual domains, and I'm a co-founder of Emoji Empires.
Hey guys, thanks for having us, Alvin. My name's Eric Thoni. I'm also one of the co-founders at Emoji Empires, and like Tanner said, we're here just educating and promoting the power of emoji domains.
Hey guys, I'm Matan for Emoji URL. So yeah, as Elvin said, I'm with the guys here, having fun at Merge, and educating new guys here.
And lastly, Michael with Emoji Empires, but now Emoji Experts, as we're now collaborating with Emoji URL, educating people about emoji domains and the power of visual domains. We're here at Merge, and it's been a great show so far. We're excited for this interview with Alvin to educate you guys more about emoji domains.
So then, gentlemen, welcome. It's great to see you guys again. I mean, obviously it's been not quite a year, just under a year, because I believe Merge last year was like in October, if I remember correctly. And so a lot has happened, like since our last Merge visit. Obviously we had a visit there at Namescom earlier this year. And so in terms of the emoji market, obviously most people would go, hey, it's dead, things have tanked. I mean, let's be honest, the reality is there's 21,000 domains this time last year. Now we're looking at maybe 1,000 or so. Not that that's a bad thing, but the reality is, there are a select few domains or emoji domains that are valuable. Obviously, those typically being singles. That being said, I mean, obviously your guys are coming together, combining as the Emoji Experts. And so, what do you make of the market? Good, bad, the ugly? And how does it impact what you all are doing?
Sure, yeah. So, as Alvin mentioned, at this point last year, 21,000 emoji domains registered, and now it's down a little bit. But I think just like any industry, people hear about it, and there's a gold rush to get your hands on whatever it is. In this case of emoji domains, people heard about the idea and they registered whatever they could think of, whether that be singles, doubles, triples, quadruples, and a lot of domains that might not be of any value, but they went ahead and took the chance and registered it. And then, when renewal fees came up a year after, they decided that their investment maybe not so sound, so they dropped them. But we're still really big believers in emoji domains and the visual aspect on what they can offer brands and companies and universities to their existing audience. We do believe that just like regular domain names, .coms, .nets, that there are premium domains within emoji domains. Brandable emojis that companies are already using to speak with their audience. We say add some authority to those emojis that you're already using and make it a clickable domain name to guide your audience to whatever you're trying to promote or whatever you're trying to say. So getting back to it, I think early on we saw a pretty strong gold rush or emoji domain rush, and now we're seeing it kind of plateau off, and people are holding on to those valuable ones that they think are worth more money than their initial investment.
Right, and I think that's the upside to this is that, we're not seeing singles drop. And matter of fact, I think we've seen a few single .ws emoji domains come into the expired domain market, but then quickly disappear. Some of them actually didn't even complete their auction, and so they were renewed. Some of them actually garnered, I believe,
Shark.
a handful of bids, right? The shark, I believe it's like the shark, the owl,
The duck.
the lady with the raised hand, the duck. And so there were a few of those that they made it into expired domain auctions, but then they were renewed. And I think a bit of that was sometimes I think people were trying to chance it, to say, hey, maybe I can let this thing expire. It goes under the radar, nobody notices. I'm able to pick it back up at the original or introductory fee of like $5 a year versus paying, I believe it was something like $20 to $30 on annual renewal. And so for the most part, I know most of you guys, your focus has been .ws. There's definitely what's impacted .ws has impacted .to, but what's more interesting to me is how many other country code or CCTLDs have actually contacted you all. Have there been any CCTLDs that have said, hey, what's up with this emoji thing and how do we get involved?
Yeah, so a few of them saw us with emoji shirts, emoji booth in those domain conferences like NamesCon and Merge, and we're surprised by this concept, and we're asking, what can we do? How can we implement that? Immediately we were mentioning the ICANN.
SEC.
Exactly. And then the next question that comes up is how we can avoid the concerns that are being mentioned.
Right.
So we guys were sitting, working on it, solving those questions, those concerns, and the Emoji Expert right now actually provide the perfect solution as a one-stop shop for a brand that has concern, for a domain investor who have concerns, and also for a registry that operate that CCTLD or even UGTLD.
Wow, so you're educating the companies, educating the investors, educating the registrars, and then tying them, I guess, pretty much tying them all together, kind of being, I guess you say, the one-stop, necessarily not the one-stop shop, but the
safe access.
Safe access, or even the platform for which most people will be introduced to emojis.
Yes, another thing is that I haven't brought my laptop here because people don't believe that they can see in their Namecheap or GoDaddy account the emoji domains among their .com domains.
Wow.
So this is also something very nice to them to see. They have the shortest available domain in the world among their 2 words, 12 digits or figure or letters .coms.
And what's in terms of the education process, what's the one thing that you're finding that you're having to educate most about, whether that be investor, registrar, or even customer? What is that, what sticks out in your mind? Is there anything?
The main questions that I personally get is how can you do it on a laptop or in your Mac? So people know that it's very easy and intuitive in the phone, and then I show it how it works there in those computers, PC.
And I think we lead with a lot of the questions too. We'll go up to these companies and brands and we'll ask them if they've ever heard of emoji domains. Because we do go after companies and we look at companies and that actively use emojis in their marketing messages. And so what we try to do is find easy integration processes for brands that actively use emoji and say, add authority to it, use it as a domain name, drive traffic to your website. That's kind of the gist of our education, I guess.
Right. And so to a certain extent, most are likely, I would imagine, that most folks aren't necessarily as familiar with an emoji domain, but then even, let's take a step back to say, they're likely not even familiar. Most small business owners, they go, yeah, we have a website. Yeah, we use Google Analytics, but they're probably not even aware that they can even track their traffic, even using Google Analytics via an emoji domain. They're probably not even aware that they can do that just with a domain in general. And so is that one of the aspects or selling points that you all point out to giving customers.
Right. So we explained that it works just like any other domain name in your GoDaddy account would. So you could run it through Google Analytics, Bitly, any third-party service really accepts it, so you can track those important data measures and see if the conversion rates increase by using the emoji domain in your strategy.
Right.
But yeah, just going off of that, it is pretty funny to talk about domains with domain owners and just see how much they don't know, how they can use that domain, how they can maximize that domain through SEO and through tracking and all these great tools that are out there to, gain more traffic, make more sales, and really use their domain to the potential. And then once they hear about it and see that emoji domains can do the exact same thing that their regular .com domain or .net, whatever it is, they can use it as a supplemental tool to drive traffic to their main website.
And so that's an interesting point, because it's not that they should be using an emoji domain for their primary digital presence. It's more of a supplemental approach, really. And I guess the reality is they must have a digital strategy of some sort that will lend itself to using an emoji domain. Because, the truth is, not everybody probably should use an emoji domain, even though that they can. But the reality is that there are some likely industries, markets, companies that are, definitely best suited for that. And so what are those, or what have you seen those?
Anyone that uses Bitly, which is Bitly services a massive population of, internet people that are shortening URLs, wanting to track data. And that's exactly what emoji can provide. And actually, we've talked to some people at Bitly, and you can actually route your DNS for your emoji domain through Bitly, use it as a domain hack, essentially. A lot of people use Bitly to manage their domain hacks, and use the domain to collect that data just like you would with a traditional name. What you'll actually see a lot of people do before their domain on a Twitter post, for example, is you'll see an emoji before it to grab the attention of the reader.
Right.
So why not just get rid of that altogether and use only the emoji to attract the reader's attention and see if they'll click on that to convert?
No, and that makes total sense, because that's instead of the Me Too approach, now you single out your brand, because as people are flipping through, going through their feeds, it's likely to pop out link of what? Emoji? What is that? At least it draws the eye to it enough to go, I'll click it and just see where it goes. And likely if it is associated with a brand that they're familiar with,
it might resonate as well, because
exactly.
Bitly has no association to your company or brand other than providing you with the URL sorting service.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. So then kind of shifting gears here in terms of where we stand, obviously 2018, most of it's behind us. We're looking forward into 2019. So, what do you guys think that the future holds in terms of emoji domains?
Yeah, so I think the future of emoji domains is pretty bright. The Emoji Experts are actively, on a day-to-day basis, promoting emoji domains, talking to brands, talking to companies about how they can use them. Really going to take those first couple big brands to actively use emoji domains in their digital marketing strategies for other companies to realize what's going on, and then I think we'll see a lot of companies adapt to emoji domains and start to use it. But for the future,
yeah, I think it's a lot of going to more events, social networking conferences, digital marketing events, and just spreading the word, just creating awareness, having those deep conversations with people about the usage, and creating some real data and case studies around them. For other people to kind of gravitate towards the concept, and you'll see more adoption, just like you are with the GTLD market. You're seeing more and more companies get involved in GTLDs as their primary. So people are even going that far as to fully adopt their primary. We're asking for a secondary as a tool that you need to adopt. So
right.
It's not a big hurdle to necessarily overcome, I feel like, as a marketing strategist, just to try out a new tool versus completely restructure your primary website.
Correct. And so then in terms of where things are headed, so it's really more that you're likely attending non-domain, events. I mean, yeah, you are attending domain events, but really the reality is the true market is likely a pivot away from a NamesCon or Merge. It's really getting into the social media meetups and conferences and.
I think you're right, but I think they're both important. It's always good to see familiar faces and friends in the domain industry, and it's amazing. But we still meet people in the domain space who have portfolios with 20,000 domains in it, .coms or whatever, and they never heard of emoji domains. So as long as we're still coming to these and we're still educating, the next domain investor, it's just one more person that they can go tell and have that word of mouth explosiveness.
No, and that makes sense. And so, what do you all make of? Obviously, I look at it and say there is this thought of, hey, it's had its flash in the pan, if you will, and it's over, it's done with. But then we see that here comes, down the pipe here, Unicode version 12, where there are like over 100 different new single emoji domains that are coming into play. And so, are we dead? Are we alive? What are we? Obviously, time will tell, but what do you guys think?
So in my opinion, the fact that there are new emojis is actually excellent for us. Because right now, for example, there is the luggage emoji, teddy bear emoji. So now we can contact companies that are related to this specific emoji.
Yeah, like Build-A-Bear for the teddy bear, or
exactly.
Whatever luggage company.
Samsonite.
Yeah, Samsonite, something like that. Yeah.
And even a company that deals with booking related things. Luggage is you traveling somewhere.
Right.
So now we actually get more opportunities.
More industries involved.
So yeah, what you see is with the introduction of new emojis every year, you see that as soon as they get introduced, you see that gold rush of scooping them up and buying them, registering as domains, and then.
I mean, how fast did the Unicode 11 get bought? It was 20 minutes, and all 150 were bought. I think
it's really we're at I wouldn't want to call it a plateau, but we're gonna now need companies to start using those domains, because those domains on the shelf, it's great that they're registered and that people are paying their renewal fees, but emoji domains aren't going to take off unless people start using them.
And Alvin, what's so interesting to me is the fact that the English language keyboard is 26 characters. They're not adding new letters to that keyboard. Right. But the 2800 keyboard for emoji, they're adding 100, like you said, 150 every year. So it's going to continue to grow. There's going to be more verticals and industries, like Matan pointed out, that are going to be able to get involved and get their hands on an emoji domain. Whether it's a single or the double or a triple, they'll be able to get involved and be a part of this revolution.
Right. And so, in addition to that, I mean, obviously they're adding them, but then, if I'm hearing you right, Mike, then that necessary step now is really usability and how well someone structures a digital strategy to execute using an emoji domain.
I think that's any domain name too. Any domain name strategy has to be executed with the right strategy in mind, and so it goes the same with emoji domains.
And is that something that you help customers, even registrars, even domain investors? Is that something that you educate all three in, or?
So for an end user, we definitely offer those services. You can build a specific campaign around an emoji domain that is synonymous to your brand, and we can help you create that and give you ideas, brainstorm on how to use the domain properly for domain investors.
And do you help in terms of whether that's, brokering or, so you have somebody who comes to you and says, hey, I want to buy this domain, or hey, I own this set of domains, I want to sell them, whether it's single, whether it's bulk, and then do you also have something in place in terms of like leasing? Because I know for some people, they're like, well, I don't want to own the thing, I just want to use it for 45 days or just for this campaign. So do you all offer something?
Sure, I'll speak on the domain investor portion real quickly. But if you have an emoji domain that you're sitting on it, you don't know what to do with it, you don't really want to put forth the effort on approaching brands, companies, universities, whatever that emoji domain fits. We will put that emoji domain on our website and broker that for you. We'll brainstorm, who you think is your potential target, and we'll work with you on that. And then for people that want to use an emoji domain for a specific amount of time, maybe they don't want to commit to a purchase of an emoji domain, we also offer that. You can lease emoji domains from us for a specific agreed amount of time that whatever your campaign is, and we work with brands in that sense for sure.
Yeah, I think the answer to Alvin's question is just yes. We will help you come up with idea generation. If you have, your .com and you're looking for an emoji, I helped a guy out 2 days ago. He was looking for the rocket, and I told him that domain is definitely registered on every CCTLD extension. The person's going to want an astronomical number for it.
Of course, it's the rocket.
and he goes, I don't have the capital for it. So I said, well, why don't you combine some text and letters, or some emoji and text? And so he actually went out and got the rocket launch.ws. It was available, $5 registration. It's his. He set up the forwarding, and I think this man was maybe 70 years old.
Wow.
And he figured it out in less than 24 hours. So idea generation is definitely something that we want to offer and want to encourage our clients to take part in and set up their own domain and be a part of it. And we'll help walk them through that process, and we'll show them the tools on how to use it on Twitter and how to do the SEO, get your emoji domain index and ranking on Google.
And just speaking on that, there was a session earlier on cryptocurrency, and someone was asking about cryptocurrency a year ago today, where it is now, where it is going to be in 2 years. And you can look at emoji domains the same. People in the crypto and blockchain realm, they're thinking about the future, what we're going to use instead of dollar bills and coins. We're going to potentially completely shift to cryptocurrency, and it's going to take those innovators and those leaders to push that and keep talking about it, keep innovating. And that's something that we're trying to do with emoji domains. Is we're trying to think about how are people going to communicate in a year from now, in 2 years from now, in 3 years from now, 10 years from now. If you look at the data, the emoji data in the past 5 years, I can confidently say that it's not going anywhere. It's only getting bigger each year by 150 characters. There's a lot of studies going on about emoji right now, and emojis are here to stay. So making them as domains and monetizing off them and branding them, I think only makes sense for these companies trying to get in with their audience and communication.
Totally. And so with that, gentlemen, we're out of time. I definitely appreciate you taking a moment to step away from your booth. I know that there are attendees out there that are waiting to speak with you, so I won't hold you any longer. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Alvin.
it.
Yeah.
Definitely, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in to Kickstart Commerce, where we share search marketing and domain name strategies to help grow your business. Please subscribe to this podcast via iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or Podbean. Last but not least, please visit kickstartcommerce.com to subscribe to the weekly newsletter sharing tips and tricks about disciplines of digital strategy. Thanks, and that's all for now.